For several millennia, the Crystal Tower remained hidden, buried deep underground. But like so many other things that were better left undisturbed, the structure was freed from its stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Era. It now stands revealed in all its splendor, a gleaming spear of crystal pointed at the bosom of the heavens. We believed the tower to be a repository of much of the ancients' wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by a formidable defense, and we cannot so much as peep through the keyhole, much less set foot inside. These defenses take the form of statues carved into likenesses of giant swordsmen. The 8 sentinels, as the Sons want to call them, is the first barrier we must overcome. Why not simply fly over them in the airship, you ask? Well, it's been tried before. Any vessel that ventures too close to the tower is blasted out of the air. We either destroy those statues, or the front door is forever beyond our reach. There. That should do the trick. Excellent work. We now possess all 4 of the fangs required to pierce the Crystal Tower's defenses. My compliments, Master Garland. Ah, it's a trifling matter, I assure you. Roland here's the one you should be thanking. Anyway, by my reckoning, there's nothing stopping us from striding up to the Allegan's front door. You can't go without us, Chief. Biggs, Wedge, come to lend a hand, have you? Well, it's not every day you get the chance to study the wonders of the Allegan Empire, is it? Their technology makes Scarlamon's work look ancient. I appreciate your enthusiasm, lads, I really do, but we're not here to take this knowledge for ourselves. Twice in the last decade, the promise of unimaginable power has prompted men to meddle with technology they do not understand, and the realm has been dragged unto the very brink of oblivion on both occasions. We shall not be so irresponsible as to risk another. Wedge, do you recall our company's creed? Yes, Chief, it's freedom through technology. Exactly. Freedom. When we forsook our homeland, we swore that we would have no truck with machines that could be used to prompt tyranny. That has not changed. Should you feel tempted to break your oath, remember this. The wonders of the all-knowing Allegan Empire could not save their civilization and have damn near doomed ours. Twice. That is why we must explore the Crystal Tower and, if needs be, seal away its secrets. A compelling viewpoint. It is unyielding will such as yours that have defined the course of history. So, you return at last. What, pray tell, has kept you so wholly preoccupied that you could not spare a moment to inform me of your progress or preservation? Why, the task you assigned to me, of course. Surely you have not forgotten about the aether sand. I tasked a passing adventurer with delivering it. A more capable courier I could not imagine. Greetings, adventurer. Did I not say we would meet again? I believe an introduction is in order. I am Grahatia, one of the students of Baldassian. I look forward to joining you on your groundbreaking expedition. Grahatia has been assigned to the project as an observer. I hope you will forgive him his eccentricities and welcome him as one of your own. So then, our fellowship is complete, and all stand ready to step into the unknown. 3 cheers for Noah. Noah? That is the name I've chosen for our little collective. Given our differing background, we cannot very well call ourselves the sons of Saint Koenig, can we? We must have a memorable appellation if our venture is to leave its mark in the annals of history. I could claim that NOAA stands for Nominated Observers of Artifacts Historical. And so it does, technically. But my true reason for choosing this name stems from the fact that it is shared by vaunted Allegan Archmagus. An Archmagus? I like the sound of that. Very well. Now that the pressing matter of what to call ourselves has been settled, it's time we set forth to brave the outer defenses of the Crystal Tower. Is everyone ready? Ready. The Crystal Tower lies beyond this portal. Now comes the interesting part. Sid, you're the only one of our number who has ever crossed this threshold. I ask that you take the lead for the present. I say, the energy radiating from those statues is palpable. Lucky for us that it is. One might otherwise stroll past them. Feast your eyes on the elemental defenses which prompted our lengthy preparations. These sentinels prevent would-be intruders from advancing to within 20 yalms of the tower's inner reaches. No matter how swift they may be. Happily, the crystal fangs we took such pains to craft should spare us the inconvenience of instantaneous annihilation. Here, allow me to demonstrate. Chief, it's too dangerous to allow anyone else to risk his life testing one? Quite right. I made the damn things. It's my job to see that they work. Success! I, for one, am convinced. Friends, ready your fangs. This last one's yours, old friend. Seemed only right. Haha, we did it. So much for the outer defenses. Indeed, the entrance to the tower is near at hand. My blood fairly sings with anticipation. Speaking of blood, I have a proposal for the next stage of the expedition. I suggest we wait here while Roland and a hand-picked party of his adventuring companions enter the tower. What? Without us? I thought we came here to survey the entire structure. We did, and we will, but our investigation must proceed at a more measured pace. If the outside of the place is this well defended, can you imagine what awaits on the inside? Only a true hero could reasonably hope to brave the hazards ahead and live to tell the tale. Roland here fits the description better than anyone I know. And it's not as if we shall be idle in his absence. While Roland and his companions are risking life and limb to beat us a path to the tower, we can set about analyzing this rubble for evidence of how its technology functions. Your knowledge of ancient lore will be invaluable in that endeavor, Historian Grahatia. Bah, you ever tire of being right, old man? Yeah. Roland, as it seems I won't be accompanying you, allow me at least to provide some instruction. The maze that surrounds the base of the tower is known as the Labyrinth of the Ancients. During this initial foray, I suggest you concentrate on ridding the place of hostile element. When you are reasonably certain the maze is secure, contact me via link shell, and we shall join you post-haste, no matter what Master Garland says. Though we would prefer, if any relics you encounter remain intact, you have leave to do whatever is necessary to secure ingress to the upper levels of the tower. Fortune go with you, Roland. Oh, Roland. Very impressive, I must say. Your name shall be writ large in the volumes that are sure to be penned on this historic expedition. The scale of the structure defies comprehension. Someone plainly thought bigger was better. According to the findings of my Baldashian colleagues, the Crystal Tower was constructed to collect and store the endless energies of the sun, a characteristically ambitious undertaking. Now, what of the tower's inner defenses? Judging by your haggard expression, clearing out the labyrinth was no small feat. A giant of a man wielding a shimmering scimitar, you say? Well, yes, that will have been Phlegthon, not Archerin, Phlegthon. He was a hero of the Allegan Revolution. And you gleaned that from what exactly? His choice of weapon? Well, I am a historian, and I have a certain, shall we say, affinity for the lore of the Allegan Empire. It is, of course, all knowledge gleaned from musty scrolls and tomes. The ancient texts claim that the Crystal Tower is defended by the champions of Eld, resurrected and augmented through the Allegans' extraordinary technology. Chief, you need to see this. Well, there it is. The foot of the tower. What surprises do you have in store for us, I wonder? I can't tell you how glad I am to have you with us on this little jaunt, old friend. Had you not beaten a path through that maze, I very much doubt we'd be standing here now. Well, we have much to discuss and digest. Let us retire to St. Cronach's find for the present, and there plan our next step. Lest there be any doubt, our expedition has some way to go yet. In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Roland's account, the labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, his report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry heavily augmented by Allegan technology. In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by the chaotic shifting of Earth. It was somehow rewoken. If, as seems increasingly likely, the tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we will have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we will first need to address the question of how they work, the answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. A task rather easier said than done, if the perils of the labyrinth are any indication. Then I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such time as an exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses has been completed. Master Garland, may I trust this task to you? It would be my pleasure. Don't forget about us. It's like you said, Chief. We founded the ironworks to make sure that technology was used for the right reasons. That means making sure it's not used for the wrong ones. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end. Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave of you for the present. If I am to witness this valiant tale unfold with mine own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire. You'll do nothing of this sort. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation. As an observer, I'm not strictly speaking subject to your authority. Pray do not mistake my intent, Roland. I am well aware that I shall never be a match for one with your innate talents, however hard I train. But that as it may be, Pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during the coming pause. We will need you fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which time has observed. We will need you in fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which time has obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Allegan Empire. And with that encouraging thought in mind, it's time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the tasks at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned. Such a terrible mess, yet it does leave the door open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So, this is the legacy the Allegan Empire left behind. If my readings are correct, the energy source waiting atop the tower is a match for even the Ultima weapon. Nay, more than a match. Ha! A new toy for me to play with. I believe the fates have conspired to deny me my just rewards once again, but it would seem they had a greater destiny in mind for me. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Cid. Do not disappoint me. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Uni and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alleg, sent here by our friends of the Baldassian to aid in the investigation. We understand you've been having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope that we can be of some small assistance. If your attire is aught to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Circus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through that proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is, we can't get it open. It's sealed by some mechanisms whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch in it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrated in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, respectant. Allegan royalty, by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. If you're thinking of force, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Is its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable, exactly as passed down through legend, I'm delighted to see. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. Couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero, you're still alive. Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ah, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I'm no longer a threat to you. My legion is for all intents and purposes defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Rosia, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts. But I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these 2 odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was the symbol of ancient Aleg's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to the royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these 2 are descendants from Allegan royalty? I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray, accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the 8 sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Very well. Seven hells. Do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland, you know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An Allegan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldassian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Allegan technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created? And more specifically, what is it that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allegan history. Pray bear with us. The Allegan Empire reached its zenith long before Archon came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as the symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there, that they might learn how the limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allegan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Alleg to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the alien empire wanted for but a potent ruler. And none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You can't mean Emperor Xandel. None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Uni and Doga. Historical texts mention the reigns of 2 Allegan emperors named Zondi. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. To think that the 2 were in fact one and the same? Zandi returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Amon's prediction, the emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with just that. In his previous life, the emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allegan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Zandi turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness again? 7 hells. What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Zandi is very much alive. Within Circus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it into the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Emerald Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Allegan Emperor was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Zandi's closest aide, invoked powerful magic and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure the Emperor included was placed in a deep slumber. In that state, they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the 7th umbral calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Zandi awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with the darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. "'Tis for no other purpose but to put an end to Zandi's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Uni and Doga." Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, and we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Zandi, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary man who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Roland Painter, we are confident that we can end Xandi's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldassian among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So what will we do, Roland? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allegan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allegan civilization, but what worth is the knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the Tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Uni and Doga, living, breathing Allegans. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Roland, as you did for us within the labyrinth of the ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Xandi himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world. To work, then. Wait, there is something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allegan eye, you called it, but to us it's just the royal eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. At will, all will be revealed in due time. Roland! You did it! You defeated Emperor Xandi. Empires may rise and fall, but man's spirit ever lives on. Truly, you are a champion we had hoped for, Roland Painter. With Emperor Xandi now at Eternal's rest, his dark legacy may be undone. What are you playing at now, Nero? case you haven't noticed, Garland, these are dangerous surrounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? At any rate, you needn't mind me. I am perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on and finish what you came to do. There are two ways that we may seal off Circus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doga and I must needs attend to a task. That distortion, what is it? The power that Xandi sought to obtain comes from that void, the world of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Voidsent. Voidsent feed on aether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for the allegiance, Xandi entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Voidsent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Uni and I believe that we can annul it. By his blood, Xandi sealed his dark pact. By our blood, it shall be undone. It is time. Yes, Doga. Finally, we may fulfill our purpose. Ha 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 ha. Oh, be still, my beating heart. For a moment I feared that this outing would end in disappointment, but my readings were not mistaken. Not even the Ultima weapon compares to this. What are you going on about? The covenant is everlasting. And so Mercedia is brought into the fold. Soon all the world shall be united under Allegan rule. And yet, with every dream that becomes reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid, an endless void bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, you cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness? If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So, let there be nothing. Harvest more power that the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. Let all be returned to nothingness. Roland, pull yourself together. Is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening? Ah, not now, damn it. Nero, were they part of your grand plan too? Save your japes, Garland. I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them. A void scent, and no ordinary one at that. Doga. Confound it. Without them, there's no way to master the darkness. That power is mine. Nero. The covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return this world to the void. Damn it. The rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without them, there's precious little we can do. Let us return to the find and consult Rambros. My friends, you've arrived. I'm just waiting for my engineers to give the signal. Then we'll see if we can't open a gateway to another world. Is there something to miss, Graha? Ah, Emperor Zandi's throne. How the mighty have fallen, eh? Once it stood as a symbol of Alec's art and power. Now it's nothing more than an empty chair. Just imagine if Allegan civilization had lived on and a just emperor still sat on the throne. How different would our history be? How much further would we be advanced? Unfortunately, there was no stopping Xandi and his ambition. There were those who tried. Xandi's war of dominion left no one unscathed. Unable to abide the horrors inflicted upon the people, warriors young, brave took up the sword against Alleg. Those men and women became as beacons of hope to those who had suffered, not unlike the warriors of light in our age. But all this merely hastened the destruction. Just as they moved towards Alleg's heart for the kill, Xandi lashed out in anger and frustration, as trapped beasts are wont to do. In his desperation, Xandi desired that a great rift be opened to hasten the cloud of darkness coming. To this end, he commanded the sun's power held within Dalamud to be emptied into Seir's tower at once. The act bore terrible consequences. The tower only withstood the blast by flooding the land below with energy. Circus was swallowed by the very earth upon which it had once stood. The fourth umbral calamity. I'd learned of its cause from Uni and Doga. I had no idea that rebellion incited Xandi's to rash. The fourth umbral calamity. I'd learned of its cause from Uni and Doga. I had no idea that rebellion incited Xandi's to rashness, though. Your knowledge of Allegan history is astounding, Graha. Why, a man could only study for 2 lifetimes and only learn half of what you know. Mayhap. 'Tis strange, though. I cannot seem to remember where I learned such things. Yes? Oh, Biggs, are you ready? Ready and raring to open up that void gate, Chief. We reckon when this machine's up and running, she'll be able to float 5 airships the size of the Argus. So, just give us the word and we'll start channeling energy into the tower. Good. Then let's get started. Our preparations are complete, everyone. Step away from the throne. All right, let's see what this machine can do. Now, Biggs. Rift of the World of Darkness, as Uni called it. Splendid work, Master Garland. We can't break out the mead just yet. The tough part's still ahead. We've broken into the Dark Realm, but the gate's not all that stable. It won't stay open forever, and only a few can use it. I, for one, will remain here to ensure the void gates stay open. As will the sons of St. Conish. This rift is our sole path to salvation. If it closes, we're all truly lost. Which leaves Roland. My friend, 'tis a heavy burden I must task you with, but there are none more able. Pray lead the adventurers beyond the rift. I do not know what awaits you, save the cloud of darkness and our 3 comrades, but you must go, for the fate of our world now rests upon your shoulders. This is our only gambit, but I have every faith that you will succeed. It will be no small feat to return after you have passed beyond the rift. Make certain you are prepared before leaving. Might I have a moment of your time, Roland? There is a matter of import we must needs discuss ere you leave. Where in the seven hells are they? Without them to stem the energy in the tower, our defeat of the cloud aids our cause little. Doga, Uni, can you hear me? Nero? Must you be so infernally loud? Are you so keen to attract more void scent? Though I don't blame you for missing my company. Thank the 12 that you're all right. As all right as can be expected, Uni has simply passed out. Nero, by the gods, what happened to you? Alas, his wounds were too deep, and allowed this foul place entry to his body. Now the darkness claws at the aether of his very form. Would that we could have protected him. The cloud of darkness was bound by Xandi's unholy covenant to bring prosperity to Allegan royalty. The same blood that sealed this contract give us a measure of protection. I say a measure, for this vow does not protect us from other void scent. The cloud imprisoned us here precisely to unleash fiends upon us. We would be dead had not Nero defended us so valiantly. Mistake not my actions for kindness. I have use for you yet in Erosia, and simply couldn't let harm befall you here. Where? Uni, you're safe. Our friends have come for us. Have they? Then perhaps, Doga, there is yet hope that we may fulfill our purpose. Mortals, you have dared to challenge me, and now must feel my wrath. Did you think to destroy me in my realm? Here I am eternal. I will smother your light and entomb your bones amongst my shadows. Are we truly so powerless here? As long as we fight the cloud in this realm, I fear so. And yet, though we may not be able to destroy it, this may be our chance to stop it. If we strike now whilst the cloud can barely hold her form, mayhap we can sever Xandi's covenant. Yes, and raise the bridge between the crystal tower and this foul place once and for all. Roland, Graha, you must flee. You and Doga mean to stay here? 'Tis madness. You must return with us. No one but you can save the world from the threat of the crystal tower. What is this trickery? Your blood, you too gain protection from Zondi's blood. Rahatia, you are possessed of royal blood. That is why the royal eye runs in your line. 'Tis a gift you have inherited, Graha. You have been granted authority over the Crystal Tower. I had thought time would consume all of Alleg that was, that a man should still live with his forebears. Blood in this age can be a no coincidence. Some person must have planted this gift in your line and used the highest of Allegan technology to do so. True, the Crystal Tower is not like to recognize you as Allegan, not as you are now, but your royal eye bespeaks a simple truth. Within you dwells one feeble glitter that will illuminate all, the light of hope. But how should I use this light? Pray tell me. You must gain control of the Crystal Tower. We will share our blood with you, Graha, though its effects will be ephemeral. Though its effects will be ephemeral, it will bolster the Allegan presence within you. This is our gift to you, that you may fulfill your destiny. All with the royal eye are bound by fate to Alleg. Our part in this journey is to bury Zondi's dark ambitions in the past. This was the true Uni and Doggy's purpose, one we have carried into the future. Know that as long as this light of hope survives in you, our souls will still remain, even if our bodies are lost. You must leave us as well, Nero. I'm sorry we could not live up to your expectations. I must return to you what is yours. You dropped it whilst defending us. What you seek by this instrument may not be possible, Nero, but do not give up. There are many other paths that await you. Of course they do. Doga, Uni, I thank you. We shall never forget you. Now, Roland, Nero, let us quit this place. You shall not escape me, impudent children of light. No, you shall not escape us. Here, Zandi's blood-stained dreams of glory end. There, the glint of light. It grows faint. Then the bridge between realms grows fragile by the Covenant's annulment. If that light dies, we're stranded here. Hurry! Nero! No, you must move. Leave me. I don't need you. If I die here, it'll be because I bloody well decided to. I failed to master darkness. I'll not suffer watching a green boy master the tower. Do what you will with it, but remember me, son of Alig. I am Nero Tolskava, the man who will yet outdo Alig and Garland. That was what you hoped to? May the Crystal Tower again be a beacon of hope for mankind. Go, damn you! Must move onwards. This is not where I come to rest. But how did... So those damn clones did it after all. Now, onward. Ah! You owe me, Nero. The hells I do. You're returned unharmed, thank the gods. When that void gate started to close, I had never felt so powerless in all my life. We were running about like madmen, trying to keep the gate open, and then the chief actually went and dived in. But if you all... But if you're all Where are Uni and Doga? They're not... I see. Well, I'm going to miss those two dearly. But I am happy they fulfilled their purpose. We who live on must still attend to the Crystal Tower, though we may now have no one able to seal it. That's not true, my friend. Uni and Doga have entrusted me with their blood. I can now control the Crystal Tower. Graha. Yes, I can see it in your eyes. Good. Then let us put an end to this and seal away the tower. I understand your instinct, Rambrose, but please, give us a moment to rest. I'm weary to the bone, and Nero and Roland are both emerged from long battle. Of course. You have the right of it. Come, we shall leave this place for a spell and repair to St. Königsfind. No one but you could have succeeded in the world of darkness, Roland. Would that I could have been of more use beyond the rift. As it stands, I was but a vessel for Doga and Uni's blood. Have I remembered what I wished to? Well, yes, something has come back to me. Gaining royal blood and witnessing true bravery has reminded me of my forebear's dearest wish. But we need not speak of these things here. It was not my place to keep you. Pray go on ahead of me. There is something small I would do before I return. I could not have asked for a better comrade. If only I could have been a part of your adventures for longer, Roland. Alas, fate dictates I have a different role to play. A wish hidden for millennia and brought to light by the good people of Noah. Now, finally, 'tis my time to see it realized. Go no further, my friends. The doors will close ere long. So you are of mind to seal the tower, Graha. I know time is of the essence, but all I ask is a hint of your plan. Please, come here so we can discuss this. No, my apologies, but I cannot. Come, man, what is this nonsense? If aught is amiss, surely we can help. Not this time, my friend. Just as Uni and Doga fulfilled their destiny, so too must I fulfill mine. My blood has awakened me to this fact. As my father told me, the truth has always lain with Alec, or rather, 'twas there the wish I must grant was born. You see, not all the world perished in Zandi's calamity. Survivors stood amidst the ruins of Alec, looking to the crystal tower, but it was nowhere to be seen. Yet they hoped its spires would again dominate the land and prayed that the crystal tower would be a beacon of hope to people everywhere. Word of this soon reached the only member of Alec's royalty to outlive the empire, the Princess Selena. Selena was moved by the people's dearest wish. She used the very best of Alec's technology to give her blood and memories to he whom she trusted most. That man was my forebearer. For millennia we have waited. Alec's art and ingenuity faded. Our royal blood grew thin. But before the last drop could vanish from the realm, the memory of all this returned to me. And now I must fulfill the wish of the ancients. This tower will shine forth as a new beacon of hope. Raha, the crystal tower's strength poses too great a threat to Erosia now. We would need technology as advanced as Alec's to use it correctly. As things stand, we barely understand the tower's workings. Hells, we may never fully comprehend them. 'Tis as you say, Sid. We could wait for someone, someday, to reach the same heights as Alec, but by then we'll have lost the royal blood and the means to control the tower. But what if I do as Aemon did and put the tower into a deep sleep? What? You cannot mean that. I am deadly serious, Sid. The tower may only be used once men rival the Allegans in knowledge. I will slumber within Circus Tower until then, to greet those with the means to open the gate. Then I will guide them, and thus will the tower shine forth as the beacon of hope it was meant to be. 'Tis the only way to make the wishes of the ancients come true. The future is where my destiny awaits. But yours lies outside these doors. Go, create a future where hope reigns, and the tragedies of the past are but memories. No one but you can accomplish such things. Nothing we say will make you change your mind, will it? Onwards to a brighter future. It won't be easy, of course, but that's exactly what we'll do. We'll catch up with Alec. You just wait. We'll cover all the lost ground before you even know it. Well said, Wedge. It'll only be a few years before we come knocking, Graha. Then you're in for a rude awakening. You shall be witness to Noah's accomplishments. Pray, keep alive our successes, and forgive us of our failures. And may we meet again, my friend. The 12 keep you then, Rambros. I look forward to learning of your exploits. You, Roland, I know history will remember you. No doubt your heroism will be the star by which I chart my course when I awake. Well, now I must rest. Recalling so much has put me in the mood for sleep. Farewell, my friends. I eagerly await a future born of your courage and the ancient's wish. The crystal tower slumbers again, then. 'Tis too quiet for my taste. Goodbye, Sid. I must put all this at my back. Possibility beckons, and I am bound to follow. A new dawn has come for me.